Let's kick things off here with
Yes.
some really cool research that just came out today from the team over at IC Cars. Julie, we appreciate everything that you do. They put
Yes.
out the fastest selling vehicles for the month of September. So we're still in this environment we talk about all the time. We've got some chip shortage updates, actually some positive news coming in a couple of minutes here. But we have all sorts of vehicles, new and used, that are just flying off the lots. Dad, I thought we'd look through this data, and maybe you could tee this off with when you were in the industry and when you were
Yeah.
managing dealership lots, what was like a typical average days to sell a vehicle? You know, where you can already see number one here on the list. It's going to be less than 8 days.
Yes.
Like, how does that sit with you as a former sales manager? That's got to
Well, that sits well with me. Like in 1999, when the new Acura 3.2 TL came out, and everyone was pre-sold for like a year and a half or 2 years, or when the MDX came out and everyone was pre-sold for a year and a half or 2 years. And so, yeah, the days to turn on those was like instant. But typically that's not the case. It's always wonderful when you're running a dealership to have some hot products, that jump off the shelves, and ultimately, if you run out of those hot products, then the people that came looking for those, you can hopefully switch them into.
But put this into perspective, Pops.
Yes.
Like number one on that list, we're going to go back to it in just a moment.
Yeah.
Is an 8 day. It took 8 days to sell.
Yeah, what's the average? What was the industry average for September?
Which I'll pull that up in just a second. But I want to
at the bottom of that list.
I know, but I want to get an answer from you first.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
What was
PC? What the hell is PC?
Pre-COVID.
Okay.
Pre-pandemic, right? What was like a typical days to turn? Was it 60 days, 90 days? You've told me in the past you used to manage against like a 90 to 120 day supply of inventory, meaning it would take a considerable amount of time for things to get off the lot.
Yes, but I also tracked every model that I sold so that I knew what the average daily sales rate was per model. And I knew, for instance, if I had 50 TLs coming in that month, that those 50 TLs might last me 45 days. That they were selling at twice the rate as some of the other Acura models at the time. But as a manager, you track your average daily sales rate per model so that you can look at a rolling 90-day supply.
Okay, I'm still not sure if I've got what I'm digging for.
What are you trying to dig for? You want to know, is that fast? It's fast, damn it. Show me the money. Show me the money. I think we need to do a new one that says, give me the answer.
Here we go. The top 20 fastest selling new vehicles in September. Number one, Dad, the Subaru Crosstrek, taking 7.8 days to sell. Not too surprising, right? Last month when we were looking at the market day supply data, there was 5 or 6 days supply. So this makes sense.
So it makes sense. And yeah, you have to realize that these numbers that we're looking at, the number of days, average days to sell, these numbers are low for a couple of reasons. The main reason is that inventories are low, so that so much of the stuff is pre-sold before it ever gets to the lot. So it gets, the time it spends on the lot is really very short-lived, because it's just a question of calling your customer and saying your car arrived. What day did you want to pick it up?
Chevrolet Corvette coming in at number 2, 8.6 days to sell. Not surprising, brand new body style or recent new model.
No, and that has nothing to do with the chip shortage, and that has everything to do with the fact that it's just a new body style. And we did see a nice one driving back to New Jersey a couple weeks ago.
We did indeed. The Subaru Forester, so another Subaru product, 9.5 days to sell.
Yes.
Now we're getting into Toyota Central. The Toyota Sienna at 9.5 or 9.6 days to sell. The Toyota RAV4, 9.8 days to sell in the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
The Toyota Highlander Hybrid taking 10.1 days to sell. Number 8 on the list, pretty much essentially a tie with number 7. Number 7 being the Cadillac Escalade at 10.1 days. And then number 8, the Toyota CHR at 10.2 days. Again, you've got all these Toyotas packed in here.
Yes.
And even one more in the top 10.
And the reason the Escalade's up there is because that, again, is a new body style. Yep. and anytime you come out with the new body style and people have been waiting for it, they tend to sell a little more quickly. And then when you combine that with the shortages, they really start to sell quickly.
Yep. Hyundai Tucson hybrid, 10.7 days.
You know, and I love Tucson. I know we spent some time at the Tucson Botanical Gardens.
He's a big Tucson fan, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Kia products, Kia Seltos, Kia Telluride, 10.9 days, 10.8 days, respectively. So
Yes.
Vehicles are moving super quickly, nothing new. But the big takeaway here is all the Toyota products moving especially quickly and Subaru products moving especially quickly. That's like my big takeaway looking at this. And the average, Dad, was
Yes.
24.6 for all new vehicles in the month of September.
And if I may, when you look at that list, a lot of them are, you take out like the Escalade, you take out the Lexus that was in there, you take out the Corvette. And for the most part, these were relatively affordable cars that were on that list. There weren't, out of the top 20, I think there were 4 or 5 that were really high-priced vehicles. You had a Mercedes in there. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of this speaks to the affordability, which is becoming harder and harder for people to find affordable cars.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see some parallels when it comes to the used vehicles that were selling most quickly, the hottest used vehicles on the market back in September.
There's not going to be a Delta or anything, is there?
No Deltas, not this morning, Dad.
Just a parallel.
So the average for all used vehicles in the month of September was 32.8 days. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to do a market update, a used car market update, thanks to some what we expect new data from our friends over at Black Book. So tune into tomorrow's show for a used car market update. But this from IC Cars is telling us a 32.8 day time to sell in the month of September. The Tesla Model 3 being the quickest on average to sell at 16 days.
Wow. And that's a relatively expensive vehicle.
Yeah, $47,453 being the average price. Then the next 4 to round out the top 5, Dad, are all what you would consider to be as cheap and / attainable / affordable as possible, with 2 Mitsubishi products being in the top 5.
Yeah, hard to imagine, since Mitsubishi doesn't sell well as a new car, that they're such a popular pre-owned car, or they sell so quickly as a pre-owned car. But my guess is because they depreciate so rapidly that they become eminently affordable as pre-owned cars.
So we've got the Mitsubishi Outlander at 19.7 days to sell in the month of September at an average price of just under $21,000. The Toyota Prius at 20.7 days, Honda Insight at 21.2 days, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross at 21.7 days. And then pops one other Mitsubishi on the list coming in at number 15 is the Mitsubishi Mirage at 24.1 days and an average selling price of $13,366. If you remember, Dad, we recently put out some content about the vehicles that have appreciated the most in the used car market. And that Mirage is up 50% just this year.
So it is not really a mirage. That it is retaining a higher percentage of value than anything out there, and that is, I think, 100% relatable to the fact that it is the most affordable car that's out there in the marketplace at this time, I think.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. If you're buying a used vehicle, that's going to be your most attainable price point, is going to be the Mitsubishi Mirage, even though it's up 50%. Let's round out the top 10, Dad. We've got the BMW 2 Series at 22.3 days at the number 6 slot. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah, I agree. And I know I looked at a 2 Series before I went back with the Clubman, because I was looking at a 2 Series convertible because, well, what short, fat, balding 70-year-old doesn't want to be driving around the Jersey Shore in a convertible?
I mean, that is your aesthetic to a T. Follow my dad on Instagram at RazIsJazz for more short, fat, balding 70-year-old man content.
Yes.
Number 7 on the list, the Toyota Highlander Hybrid, 22.6 days. The Kia Sedona, 22.9 days. The Tesla Model X at 22.9 days. And then number 10 on the list, I guess this is a big tie, the Nissan Pathfinder at 22.9 days as well.
And when you look at the pre-owned side, I mean, really, there's not a lot of expensive vehicles on there.
No. And all, generally speaking, reliable. Got to make sure you get a pre-purchase inspection done on them. Make sure
On any pre-owned car, especially in today's market, with
Absolutely.
edgier and edgier cars making it to the auctions.